Hey, I just wanted to do a video on a deal that we recently closed where we made 26,000 in profit on a vacant land deal and break down how we did it. Hopefully this helps. Um, so we got a property for $6,000 in total for 3 lots. They're smaller lots, about 0.37 acres each, probably about an acre in total. We sold these for 32,000 at the end of the day, and we ended up with a 26,000 plus profit. We'll talk about the plus later. Here's the details of the acquisition. We got this lead from SMS. We were using Launch Control. It was a list that we got from PropStream, which is free with our PropStream subscription. Of course, if you are starting out and you need free lists, you can get them from PropWire. Those be able to pull free lists there. The parameters were out of state, out of county owners for vacant land, and the timeline was that we launched the campaign in January 2023. So then we ended up closing it in December and January 2024. It was a year from the time we launched this text campaign. And that's a testament to follow up and just being persistent. We got the lead, we contacted the lead or had a response from them in April, the end of April 2023. So that's 3 months after the campaign started. That's just follow ups. And then we contracted it in November. So that's 7 months or 6.5 months after we initially connected with this lead. So again, patience and persistence. Some of them happen fast, but some of them take a while. Disposition details. We sold this in 2 pieces. It was 3 lots that we broke into 2 parcels, and we sold in 2 pieces. So we sold the land portion of it, and I'll talk about the land and the house portions, but there was a tear down house on one of the lots. Uh, and we sold them, closed them, sold them both in December when we contracted them in November. So a few weeks out. And then we closed them in February and at the end of December. So one closed much faster and one took longer to close. And then the buyers came from, one of the buyers came from our buyer list, and the other buyer came from Facebook groups, from posting on Facebook groups. We bought this as 3 lots for 6,000 with a tear down house on one of the lots, and it was a tear down according to the seller. We recognized that the house might be salvageable, so we sent an inspector over to take pictures and give us feedback, and we ended up deciding the house was maybe salvageable, so we marketed it as a handyman special or a fixer upper and sold it for 20,000. So if we're talking about buying this whole thing for 6 and splitting it into 2 parcels for 3,000 each, we sold that one for 20,000, and then we sold the other 2 lots for 12,000 to a builder. This is an overview, satellite overview of what we were working on. The turquoise rectangle is the one with the tear down house on it, and then next to that you've got 3 lots. These 2 in the deed were counted as one, and then this L-shaped lot was counted as another one. So it was 3 lots, and then we put just the land together as one. We put the tear down house as one, and we sold them separately. Both parcels we sold on owner financing. We could have done this with cash, but we were making a bigger profit with owner financing based on the offers we had. So we did them both with owner financing at 10% compound interest, which is probably too low in today's market with prime rates at 7 or 8. But our profit will actually be more than 26,000 by the time everything is paid off, because these people are paying 10% compound interest over time. So that means that the total amount they're paying is more than the original purchase price by, depending on how long they're paying, a few $1,000s. Owner financing notes, just want to mention that since we did owner financing, I've got other videos about owner financing, and happy to share more about that if anybody's curious or needs help with it. Both buyers made down payments that covered the cost of the purchase, so they're both bringing in $3,000 or more down, which paid for the property right off the bat. So we're instantly in the black. And then, what happens if they default? Well, if they default, we'd take back the properties and we'd sell to someone else, and our profit would increase because we already have money from the first people, right? So we'd just be doing the same process again. We would already have around 3,000, or if they're making payments on them more, if they've done work on the tear down house, then we've got a better house to sell. So et cetera, et cetera. So the risk feels pretty low to us. And then just a note for owner financing, all you need is a deed and a promissory note. And so that's a brief summary. Conclusion, you can do this. It's not rocket science. The biggest thing is to start with marketing for sellers, do as much volume as you can. As I mentioned, you can get free lists on PropWare. You can get an introductory account on Launch Control, or you can pay a cold caller fairly low rate, or you can make the calls yourself with an auto dialer if you have a very low budget. A lot of different ways to reach out to sellers: letters, direct mail, etc. You make your money on the purchase side, get a good price, and you will have buyers. So, we got these at a good low price. The seller had inherited the properties. They didn't really care about them. They just want to get some money out of them, stop paying taxes, stop thinking about them. They were living out of state. So, it was a win-win. They got their money. They're done with the property. We got a really great price, and we're able to sell them and make a good profit. And that is a wrap for this video. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'm happy to help.